Number 26 in the Shameless range is Strip Nude for Your Colour by director Andrea Bianchi, the man who did Burial Ground, which we all know how fantastic that movie is. This is a rather typical giallo movie. It follows all the staples you would expect. There is a masked killer, there is an inciting incident at the start, there are plenty of blood and skin on show, and there are plenty of absolutely horrible characters throughout this one. We're introduced early on to Carlo, a man who helps a friend out. Now, this friend just needs a little bit of a hand because he's been performing a illegal abortion and the woman has died during it. So he needs his friend Carlo to come and help him do the right thing. Dump the body. Because what else can you do in this situation?
I'm afraid Evelyn's had it.
What the hell's that supposed to mean, Doc?
She had a massive coronary, that's what it means.
And we move into the model world where we see our character Carlo bed as many women as he possibly can at the start. It is very simple that he is just looking for numbers, the next target, and then move on from there. Now, he does have someone pretty fantastic that he works with, an aspiring photographer in the form of Magda, played by Edwig Fenwick at the start of this one. She has an unusual pixie cut going on and looks as ravishing as ever.
Coffee served, master. But remember one thing, this is just for today. Don't get used to it, huh?
And throughout this small world where we get to meet all these models, people who own the modelling agency, people who own buildings where shoots are taken, we start to see them being picked off one by one by a motorcycle helmet wearing killer. You don't know if it's a man or a woman. It very much feels like the killer from Nightmare Beach, which would be a decade or so after this. And we see some brutal kills throughout it. And what kind of elevates it above the typical giallo is the seedy, sleazy nature of it.
You're the only one that can make it happen. The only one.
Everything is linked to sex, seduction in one way or another. The inciting incident of this one is a failed abortion at the start, who was the father, who helped dump the body. Why didn't they go to the police? Who was this person? We know very little about. Everybody is either in the form of having sex, just had some kind of sexual action of some one way or another. There are attempted rapes throughout this. There is one horrific sequence where a guy picks up a woman, drives her to a secluded building, and then attempts to rape her, of which she becomes almost complicit at certain moments. Now, it does look fantastic. This is a great transfer on this disc. There is that sleazy, bleak nature to this one. You feel that everybody is doomed here. When the killer turns up, they are vicious. The deaths are not easy. They're bloody and horrific. But there is this main character of Carlo who is simply reprehensible. From the opening sequence where he helps dispose of a body, to him bedding as many women as he can, to taking advantage of his photographer friend who has a crush on him. This is a horrible person, and it leads to one of the most ridiculous final scenes in a film I think I've seen in the longest while.
Scared you, didn't I?
If you're looking for a kind of straightforward giallo, something that's a nice easy into this genre, Strip Nude for Your Killer is that movie. It doesn't have too fantastical a reveal at the end. It is plausible, I suppose. It feels like they've drawn the name out of the hat along with the reason as to why the killer is doing what they are doing, but it doesn't matter because it somewhat ties it all together. You get Edwig Fenwick, who is looking fantastic, who does another good performance, although she's not as at the forefront of this movie as I would have enjoyed. there are some other good characters and situations in this one. There is a black stretch of humour running through this, which is incredibly funny and sometimes unsettling at the same time. Strip Nude for Your Killer is fantastic. Even that final kind of sequence with Fennec and Nino Castelnuovo is so bad taste that it just made me laugh out loud with how ridiculous that final moment was. This is a character, Carlo, who just has not changed at all throughout the full entire movie. He feels as if he's exactly the same as he was when he started this one, which just kind of tickled me a little bit. Let's dive into this disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are at the disc for Strip Nude for Your Killer. If you go to play the film, you have two versions. You've got the normal version and with the alternate opening scene, which is a kind of bluish tint over it. Go to the extras. We have Emma, an interview with Erna Schurer. She talks briefly about her career, how she kind of landed big because of a certain film. This was the only giallo that she did, and it was a small bit part that she did. She's fond memories of the director, but can't remember too much. The Sweetest Memory interview with Nino Castelnuovo is 18 minutes, 17 seconds. And again, he kind of goes on about his career, how he kind of went to work in America, come back, was looking for jobs, the options that were open to him. When he starts to talk about the film, he freely says that his memory isn't as strong as he could remember of this one, trying to remember where certain things were filmed. But then there are other things like co-stars that he had a good working relationship with that he remembers quite a bit about. And that's the extras for Strip Nude for Your Killer. There we have it. Strip Nude for Your Killer is not one of the big giallo movies, but it's wholly enjoyable. It has some fun set pieces, some great familiar actors, some memorable moments throughout it, and it's a fairly decent plotted movie with plenty of murders dotted throughout it to keep you always entertained. I would say run out and check it if you are a giallo fan and you haven't seen it. First time released in the UK on Blu-ray. I am glad to have picked this one up. I'm already looking forward to my rewatch of this one to see what more I can glean from it. I'd love to know your thoughts on Strip Nude for the Killer, for Your Killer, in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.